Hey guys, how's it going? See here. Need to reconnect Facebook. Ba-ba-bum. Okay, looks like we're golden. All right, Facebook's going. All right, sweet. Gotta make sure everything's rolling. What's up, me? How's it going? All right. So last week we left off with this cowboy, and this is kind of where we're gonna. This is where I ended up. I haven't posed the fingers, and I haven't done the bridle and all that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to get it done and 3D printed by the ZBrush Summit. That's kind of a tall order, but we'll see if that works. You guys hear me okay? I'm using a new microphone. See this little lav mic right here? I'm using that thing, so. Okay. Oh, you guys crack me up. All right, hello, hello. Thanks for joining me again. Just waiting for Twitch to sort it out. What's up, Neil? Thank you. You like that new mic? All right, cool. Hey, everybody over on Facebook. How you guys doing today? So I'm just gonna make a head today. I just enjoy making heads. I like to do things that I can finish in one stream. So we'll see. Hey, what's up, Christopher? We'll see if I can get this done. This is a model by Matthew Davies. Not a model, a concept by Matthew Davies. I stayed with him at CTN a couple years ago. Super nice guy. Anyway, he came up with this really cool design for this long-necked guy, and I thought it was hilarious. So I asked him if I could model that today. You can even hear my heart. That's funny. All right. Cool. I think, and I also put a noise gate on here. I don't know if you guys can hear because I got a fan going. My kids in the background. Hey, Moonmix, what's up? Welcome to Twitch. Okay, so I figured we would start with, and we're just going to build this head. I'm going to lay off the cowboy for a while. We've been building him for a long time. It's been a long time. Hey, what's up, Matthew? So Matthew's here. Well, at least he's on Facebook. Hey, Matthew. Hopefully this looks okay for you. There you go. I kind of clipped out the background, and he's floating right here. All right, let's get this started. Shall we? Okay. I need to just kind of figure out how to build this guy. It's gonna be fun. John Cleese, yep. Hey, what's up, Caitlin? How you doing? How was the concept? Just missed what you said. So this concept is made by Matthew Robert Davies. He is over on Facebook right now. And he gave me permission to model this guy, so I'm excited to do it. Here we go. Making sure I'm still facing forward. Who? So Matthew Robert Davies. Can you hear that? Hey Matthew, where is the best place people can find your art? Looks off. Woo! I don't know why this isn't being it's not being straight. Come on, just draw straight. It's having a hard time. And my gizmo is straight. I don't understand. Come on, ZBrush. You can do it. Maybe it's because its symmetry's not on. I don't know. Gosh, it's worse and worse. Oh, thanks, Ophane. How are you? Thanks so much. All right, you know what? I'm just going to do a I'm just going to start with this sphere and just pull it out. Oh, thanks, Matt. So Matt says Matt2D on the Instagram and Twitter, if you guys saw that. Thanks, Matt. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the sphere because my appendage brush is not working. Is my perspective on? Oh, you're right. Jeez, Les. Okay, thank you. Is that why? Gosh. Yes, sort of. I mean, it's tilting forward now. Still, that's part of it. Okay, you know what? That's going to work. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the gizmo is it's centered. I don't know what's going on. It does look like Junkley's. Oh, that's funny. Okay. There we go. That's better. Okay. I still have to keep checking myself to make sure I'm facing forward. It's really easy to get facing the wrong direction. So how's everybody doing today? Another Monday? Another week? I'm going to turn this into his body here. Hey, what's up, Malachus? How you doing? Hey, hey. What's up, Raymond? Good to see you guys here. Let's see. This guy is super tall. I love how long his head is. So we're going to just do a little comparison here. Excellent. Yep, I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I have been working on updating my website, making a new sales page and things like that. I was trying to make it so you guys that are watching me on the stream live will have access to, you can just go buy the course anytime that you're watching live. So I'm trying to make that happen, but I didn't quite finish it this week, so next week. Oh, thanks so much. Oh, doing a lot of compositing in Photoshop. Okay. Let's see if that's... And I want to make these shoulders flow better. I'm usually hot in the UK, really? Okay, I'm actually going to split these two off. Group split. There we go. So I just have the head in one subtool. All right, now let's start adding pieces and parts. Okay, let's do a nose. See, the nose is working. There we go. Matthew, I love the shapes of this guy, by the way. They're super fun. All right. Yep, we'll be making this from scratch. Wait, the beak. Looks like Jeeves or Wooster, yep. Jeeves. Okay, let's see. I want to get, I love the attitude in his eyes too. He's just like, what can I get you, sir? I don't do the best butler. Okay. Get this ear in here to kind of get some placement. I know this microphone picks up my like tapping on my screen a little more than the other one. Oh, thanks, Sumerian. How you doing, man? Yeah, I have that right here. If you guys missed it from last week, here's kind of where he's at right now. I still need to pose his hands and put the stirrups and bridle on and make room for his feet and do some detailing, some color work, things like that. But this is kind of where he was at last week when we finished off. I would love to get him 3D printed. And I want to bring him to the ZBrush Summit, if any of you guys are going to the ZBrush Summit. Yes, I'm looking at you, Malicus. Hope you can be there, man. Okay, this guy's interesting because he's kind of leaning back, you know, because he's like snooty tooty. So I need to like kind of figure out in perspective, or you know, how that's going to work out. So I'm going to lean him back while I'm modeling him too. So thanks, Moonmix. Hey, what's up, Vicky? Oh yeah, yeah. Posing, when you pose stuff, it really makes the character come to life, for sure. That's why I recommend to my students that they pose it as soon as possible, because then you kind of figure out what you're missing or what's wrong, or you know, if the hands are too small or something like that. You'll instantly see it. Okay, and then I'm going to push in these. Now I built this head differently than I typically do. Usually I'll make a sphere that represents the cranium, and then I'll make another sphere that represents the jaw. But since this guy is so different, his head is just so differently shaped that I decided I'm just going to not build him out of parts as far as I typically do. I'm just building him, you know, well, you're watching how I'm building him instead. So I'm just going to try and see if I can get it to work that way. Elongated Lambert Wilson. True. Okay. Or like those Ardman, Wallace and Gromit characters, you know, something out of their book. Okay. Then I'm just going to pull out the chin by hand. I'm not going to add a piece there. When you block out characters with primitives, if there's something just subtly breaking the surface, you don't necessarily need to add a primitive to describe it. You can just pull it out like this. Yeah. Hello, Gromit. Okay, so I'm gonna Z-remesh this together. Actually, I'm gonna put it together with union. Let's reset this, and actually I'm gonna duplicate the head off in case I want to go back. Okay, get in the habit of doing that. Okay, remesh by union. We'll glue all these things together like that. Then hit accept. And then I'm going to Z-remesh it together. Or Z-remesh to get new flow. Let's try 1. See what happens. Stitch it. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to make the mouth and the eyes. Oh, let's turn on symmetry. And then his mouth is quite large, and then I'll close it later. Okay, and then edge loop mask border. Now he's going to look like a clown for a minute. Let's polish by features just to make those more round. I'm going to push them in. Let's see. Extrude, polygroup all. Done. Ship it. Looks like a cactus, yep. I'm a cactus. My first day. Okay. Smooth these out a little bit. Then I want to just take this one, not necessarily the eyes, and push it back more. And done. It's funny how strange it always looks at this stage. You know, it's like, what are you gonna do with that? That looks dumb. Okay. I'm just going to push it in even more. Well, thanks, Vinit. I'm glad you're enjoying it. You can see how I kind of got off symmetry right here. I'm just going to do a mirror and weld really quick. Mirror and weld. There we go. Yep, it did. I don't care too much. Right now, I'm just trying to get the geometry in there. For sure. Okay, and then I'm trying to think about the eye sockets, like after, you know, on the outside of these eyes. So let's see what happens when I Z-remesh this. Okay, not bad. It's giving me my edge loops that I want. What I want. Then I'm going to Z-remesh it a little bit higher. Like at a 2. Kevin. Oh, you cracked me up. Okay, so okay. What you can do now is to try and get the Z-remesher to follow. Where you want it to go is you just make some peaks in here. I'm just using the detail brush to make some peaks for it to follow. Gonna look weird for a minute. Well, hopefully for a minute. Because I want the edge flow to kind of follow kind of a mask around these eyes. And the best way to do that is to give Z-remesher a peak to follow. And then you just smooth it back down after it follows that peak. And you can also do the same thing with the ear and the nostrils. Hey, Ambra, how are you? Okay. Looks like I love how you guys are like, looks like this, it looks like that. Looks like some chump. Okay. Now that I have those, I can do it again, do edge loop mask border. Now I'm going to push. Let's smooth these nostrils out. Smooth these out. It's not faster than guides, it's more reliable than guides, in my opinion. sometimes guides don't always follow. They don't stick very well. It almost seems like the algorithm for ZRemesher favors peaks more than guides. So I will just go and put a peak in there and say, follow this. And it's just more reliable, in my opinion. Okay, so we'll see what happens when I push these in. And let's ZRemesh that. Okay, see how it worked? Now I'm getting edge loops. Actually, before, I'm gonna actually go back and subdivide this once. So Control D, subdivide it once, just to give a cleaner edge loop around these things. Cleaner. Then I can take my detail brush and just peek this out even more to get a cleaner edge. Okay, so I'm just looking for peaks right now. I just want the ZRemesher to follow all the peaks. Okay, now if I hit ZRemesher, should get a better result. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, so essentially this is giving me my base mesh and my base loops that I can now manipulate into this concept, okay? So now, since he looks like a bandit, we can now smooth this down back into his head and start working with I'm just trying to get the shapes to match and all that. Okay. I can start closing his mouth. I can start manipulating his nostrils and his ears better. Just kind of smooth all this stuff out and make it work. You'll see, trust me. It'll work. Yeah, that guide tool is just not, it doesn't do what I want it to do. It's not my friend. Not my friend. And you can also use polish on this just to kind of push it down. Yeah, Moomnix. This is actually my new technique that I just barely taught my students. I've been doing it for a while, trying to perfect it, because I typically don't like to teach something until I know that it's like gonna work. You know what I mean? It's like, hey guys, learn this. And then the next, you know, and then it like isn't what I want to teach later on. So I put it through the thorough test. I've been testing this method for the past, I don't know, 6 months or so before I decided to pass it on. And I still haven't made a proper lesson for it. I just did a student feedback session where I covered it, and I'm doing a student challenge right now where my students are they're modeling concepts from Randy Bishop, which I love Randy's designs. Now, one more loop that I didn't do that I could have if I wanted to. Oh, you need to watch out for thin walls if you're 3D printing. That's a good tip, Caitlin. Okay, so I want, see how the distance between the bottom of the nose and the top lip, how much distance there is. I'm going to be pulling this. Anyway, I could have gotten the, you know, did another peak to get the ZRemesher to make this smile line. So I'm hoping it's just going to have enough geometry there to let me do it. Anyway, we'll see. And if not, there's always Sculptris Pro, right? So Caitlin, you're having troubles making thin? Do you get thin walls using this all the time? Or are you just saying you gotta be careful with it? Okay. And we just kind of work on closing this gap. And I have topological on. I'm going to change the range to 3. So that just means I can move the lower lip without affecting the upper lip as much. Hey from the Philippines, how are you? What's up, Edison? Okay, now when I get to this point, I'll typically switch over to the inflate brush and just inflate it closed. Only if I'm not careful. Oh, one of your Doctor Who sculpts came out with a hole under the mouth due to a thin wall. Ah, okay, okay. Good to know. Just kind of making this lip puff out. Do I have any good ways to make fur without fiber mesh? It just depends on what kind of fur you're looking for. If it's stylized fur, I will typically get or build an insert multi-mesh fur brush if you want chunky fur, and just kind of make it that way. And you'll just draw in each set of clumps, and you work your way. You kind of start at the belly and work your way up if it's an animal of some sort. Yeah, there's ways of doing it for sure. Or hair cards, if you're going to go that direction, if you're going to be putting it in a game. Hair cards are a thing. The Beast from Beauty and the Beast. I'm trying to remember. Somebody did the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and I'm trying to remember how they did it. Gosh, I can't recall. But there's also, you don't need to cover the entire creature with fur. You can just do subtle hints and just say, like in the old school cartoons, like with Bugs Bunny and stuff, they would only draw the fur on the elbows and like on the shoulders, wherever the joints would bend. And it would just be enough to tell you, hey, this creature is covered with fur. So that's an option too. Okay. I'm just going to be working on this. Hey, Noble Yad. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining me. Just trying to get this to be a smoother transition. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, you're using that one? So the one Caitlin's talking about, I don't know if you could link it, Caitlin, but one of my students, yeah, he did a insert multi-mesh brush, a fur brush that's really nice. I have yet to use it, but I've seen it. Looks pretty good. Making the brow lines. Kevin asks if this was a Dynamesh, is there a way when you re-Dynamesh to stop, say, the upper lips and lower lips meshing together? It is a case of distance. So you cannot stop it from meshing together. That is actually why I prefer the Z-Remesher method, because it does not meld pieces together. Or if you get those problems where your fingers are too close together and you start, Dynamesh will close those gaps if you have a low enough Dynamesh, and it can't. So Dynamesh is good for certain things, and it's good for exploration, and it's good for making watertight models for 3D printing. So when you're all done and you're ready to 3D print, it's very nice to run Dynamesh to get rid of all the interior stuff, so you don't have problems when you go to print it. But I've kind of moved away from Dynameshing my character after I've used primitives, because of that reason, because it welds everything together. Okay, that's a good question. All right. And this is still low resolution. So this is how low this character is right now. He's not a very high resolution character. I just have dynamic subdivisions turned on. So it's kind of like hitting the number 3 when you're working in Maya, that subdivision preview. Hey, what's up, Shawn? Yep, 3D printing. I'm gonna pop the eyeballs in here. Something like that. And break them apart. Just to have something to work around. Then, now that I have eyeballs in here, I can start kind of pulling the eyelid down around the eye. Make him look angry for a minute. Yep, every Monday, man. Same time, same place. What's the active point you're using at that model? It looks really smooth. It's just dynamic subdivisions, so just the default. And you can see it right here, see dynamic right here. It's essentially giving you a level 3 preview of what it's going to look like if you did subdivide it, if that makes any sense. Then we'll start pulling up the lower eyelids and then tune them. So I'm going to switch materials so I can see the surface better. I like this ZBrush gray. It just kind of gives me a better idea what the surface is doing. And I can kind of make this eyelid a little thinner. It comes around here and then cut the eyelid in above it. This is kind of why I wanted that edge flow that I made in the beginning, because I want to follow these lines with my eyelids. Building up the lower eyelid, just giving myself kind of a ledge that I can pull around the eyeball. Oh, let's see. So Akio says, "Hi Pixelogic, please do some fiber mesh tutorials. I've seen some hair created with fiber mesh, and then the strands are retopologized. Appear to be hair cards. I'm not exactly sure how people do that. I don't work for Pixelogic. I'm just a volunteer on this channel. So I've seen it done before. I don't know of a specific tutorial that shows you how to do hair cards with fiber mesh. Maybe somebody else you guys know can pop a link in the description there. Let's see. Oh, Raymond, when I saw the concept a while ago, you thought it was a Matt Thorpe. Yeah, it kind of does look like one of his, doesn't it? Oops. Oh, get out of there. Okay. I'm just using this this detail brush to get my edges. Oh yes, Dan, the archived videos. Also, you can go to I believe Pixelogic Live. Let me see. Or ZBrushLIVE. Let me look it up really quick. Moonmix probably has the link already loaded. So if you go, okay, this is us and we're watching. If you go to this ZBrush, so pixelogic.com/ZBrushLIVE, and then you click on the presenters, then there's me, top left right here. And if you click on this past broadcast and schedule, you'll see all of my past streams. And there's pages and pages and pages of them. I've been doing this for a while now. So that's where you can find, and these are all links to YouTube, so they do archive them on YouTube. You can find them there. Not a problem. Okay, let's get going on this some more. What we got here? Shawn, what'd you ask? You said, do I ever use preset decimation? I don't. I will typically use just the regular Decimation Master setting, just to try go back and forth different ways. The presets are meant to be used in conjunction with Sculptress Pro, because a lot of times you want to remesh your entire mesh with Decimation Master just to get your whole mesh made out of triangles. So that's what the presets are for, initially anyway. Okay, and I'm going to bring this eyelid up and kind of just close this. Kind of tricky. Yeah, you can, but it's, I don't know. You can use the presets, but I mean, it's like using anything that's automated, right? It's just better to do it manually and get what you want manually. It is for me anyway, my humble opinion. Okay. Hey from Malaysia, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I love that people from all over the world come to watch this. Fantastic. I'm gonna go lower with this, I think. Shawn, it depends on the density of your model. Like, I know you don't want to hear that, but every single model is different. And it depends on the scale of your model in your ZBrush scene. The good thing about Decimation Master is when you're doing it, when you, here, let me pop it open here. Decimation Master. So when you hit pre-process, and you pre-process all, so basically what I do is I combine everything together, all of my model into one big piece. It's only separated by keys. So if your arm is going to be a piece and the arm is keyed into the body, that will be its own subtool, but I will combine like the hand and the arm and the clothing and everything that has to do with that arm. That will all be in one subtool. Then what I'll do with that subtool is I'll Dynamesh everything together so it gets rid of the internal geometry. Then I will use Decimation Master on it. I'll do pre-process current, which will only pre-process that one single subtool. Then after that's done, you can mess with these percentages of decimation. And you can just kind of look at the surface detail and the surface quality of your model. And what you're aiming for is the lowest amount of detail, or the lowest amount of triangles that will hold the most amount of detail. It's like this fine line. And you can just keep adjusting that percentage until you get it right. So, yeah, YouTube has a delay and no links, like Moon Mixer said. So you're not going to be able to follow the links that are getting posted. So if you do want to follow the links, come on over to and watch me on Twitch. You can go to the Twitch, just look up Pixelogic Twitch, and I'm going live over there if you want to hop over here. You can get the links and stuff. Somebody told you to forgo the Dynamesh and use the new live Boolean to combine. It depends on how much detail you have on your model. It's true, Dynamesh will lose some detail. Or honestly, it's the same algorithm under here. You can do remesh by union if you click on this gear. So see this remesh by union? That is exactly the same thing that live Boolean is doing. So just use that to combine. And that will also get rid of interior geometry as well. But sometimes it will give you some, since it's not unifying the entire mesh in the same single kind of square size, it could give you some weird triangles along the edges of where it's sewing things together. So that's just kind of, you know, what to look out for. Dynamesh has its purposes for sure. And I still like Dynamesh. Bullion sometimes gives Dynamesh artifacts, but remesh by, yeah, Caitlin would know. Remesh by union does not. Okay. But you can try that remesh by union, Shawn. That works pretty good. And see if it gives you grief. I wouldn't use live Boolean. I would use remesh by union. It's doing the same thing. It's honestly doing the same thing. Okay, let's get going here. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Using polish to close this edge up a little bit. Stefan, I rarely use project primitive, honestly. I like it for just for messing around, you know, for exploring and things like that. It's super duper fun to explore with, but I'm not used to it enough to use it in production, because every time you add a new remesh by union, you have to commit it, if that makes sense. You have to, like, it only lets you do one step at a time. So it's like you add a primitive and then you have to commit. Then you add another primitive, and then you have to commit. With the way I'm used to doing things is I'm used to having all of my primitives stay separate, if that makes sense. So I typically don't use that. That's okay, Shawn. I just can't. I wish I could sit and explain to you everything you need to do in the stream, but I need to get this guy further along. I'm trying to get him done all the way during this stream. So I apologize. I'm just bringing his mouth in because I want to then work this cheek out. Let's see. Bring it out. I might have to use, sometimes I'll use clay buildup, and it gives me really chunky results because it's such a low, it's a low mesh underneath there. I just have to be kind of careful with it. But it does a good job in inflating areas quickly that I want to build up. Yeah, I honestly, Shawn, I don't think it's really misinformation. I think it's, well, you know, people saying, well, this is what worked for me, and you can try it. So it's not like do this, don't do this. It's like there's several ways of doing stuff. And I think it's just overcomplicating things. You know what I mean? So there are ways that are easier than others for sure. Well, you got to overlook that because there's not one way to do anything in ZBrush. There's always at least 5 ways to do stuff. At least. And I even say that as a warning for what I say. You know, it's like, this may or may not work for you, but this worked for me, so try it if you want. Ah, you can just let them live in their correct world. Like for example, just now, I'm building this guy differently than I used to build characters. And it's a brand new thing, and I'm just developing it right now. And is it the perfect way? No. Is it working right now? Yeah. For so far, anyway. Will it change? Most likely. It changes with every release of ZBrush. When they add something new, you have to adapt and change. And I'm always looking for the quickest way to get to where I want to go. And so far, this has been quicker than when I used to use Dynamesh. Because, you know, it doesn't glue my lips together, for one. And it does a lot better job of staying away from lumps and bumps, too. Because the lower your mesh, you know, the lower resolution your mesh, the easier time you have keeping it smooth. That makes sense. I want these eyelids to be flat as possible. I mean, still on an angle, but flat. No warbles. Stay away from the warbles. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon info message. Stay away from the warbles. Yeah, see, Shawn, I understand that want of doing that, but at the same time, what I'm doing now is a little easier to teach people than what I did in the past. And how I did it in the past is not wrong. It's just different. And even before that, before I blocked out characters with primitives, I would mask an area off and I would pull it out. Like if you watch my old videos on Vimeo, I made this giraffe. You might have seen this giraffe. I literally took a sphere and masked off where his legs would be and pulled his legs out and then remeshed those legs, and it was creating horrible geometry. So, what's up, Mike? How you doing, man? Oh yeah, this Cintiq is a 27-inch H. This does not have touch, though. I'm not a fan of the touch. Not a fan of the touch. Yeah, Shawn, your stuff is coming along great. Like, a long ways. That's what you got to do. You just got to keep going, you know? Your Monday inspiration. Thanks, man. I try my best. Trying to get that little smile line in there. I keep trying to do his voice when I'm modeling him. Okay. Kind of like that South Park guy, the teacher. I don't think he'd have that voice, but for some reason I'm giving him that voice. Can I get you a drink, sir? I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot more people that can do his voice better than me. Hey, Kevin Dillon over on Facebook. Yeah, no Dynamesh. Say no to Dynamesh. Dynamesh is great for certain things. I keep saying that over and over again. I really, really like it when I'm just wanting to experiment and just play and just like not worry about topology. I just kind of go to town. But now we kind of have Sculptress Pro mode for that. And it's even, it allows you to even go further with your explorations because there isn't really limitations with it, you know, because you can kind of grow it as you go. I can come in here and just kind of wanting that transition to be smoother. You can just kind of come along here and pinch. It should sound like more like Alfred. Yeah, if I could do that voice, I'd do it. I'd have to listen to it first. Yeah, posh fake British hunting guy. David, that's awesome. Only if your neighbor's good though. If he sucks, that wouldn't be good. All right, let's work on his chin. Yeah, cheerio, my good sir. There's so many wrinkles down here. I love it. Like this. Look at all these wrinkles. Like his neck is like shoved in that sweater and it's just like getting wrinkled like cloth. I might switch over to Sculptress Pro here in a minute just to get more detail. We'll see. And I like how his jaw is just barely kind of this indication of where it is, but it just disappears pretty quick down into his neck. Cracks me up. Okay, let's see. I want to make this kind of go all the way around the back. I like how low this goes in the front. Let's see, Vicky, what do you say? For sculpting graphics tablet and its pressure sensitivity should be good. Oh yeah. But you know, that being said, you don't need to have like the best tablet ever. You just need to have a tablet, in my opinion. It's just very difficult to sculpt with a mouse. Some people do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. And you don't need a Cintiq. It helps, but you don't need one. It's not going to make you a better artist. It just makes you a little faster, is all. So don't worry about, you know, if you can't afford a Cintiq right now or whatever. I didn't have a Cintiq for years and years and years. It's just the last 3 years that I've had one, and it just speeds up your workflow is all. Sumerian, yeah. And how's the difference? Honestly, you sculpt with what you have, right? Oh, hey, what's up, Brandon? How are you, man? What noise? Dynamic? What are you talking about? Can you hear me like scraping on my Cintiq? Oh yeah, dude, it happens with every character, honestly. I need to give you some feedback on that guy. Because I think all the pieces are in place. Now you just need to add more expression and kind of, it feels like the skull inside his head is a little too big. Maybe make it a little smaller, and then try and get those expressions in his eyes. But it's difficult, I know. All right, I think I'm gonna have to turn on Sculptress Pro here soon. Sorry, Dynamic, I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to tell me. Can you make it a bit long? What are you trying to say? Sorry, I missed your previous... Let's see. You have pressure sensitivity isn't good, so you're not getting always good result. Oh yeah, that would be, if you're fighting the pressure sensitivity, that might be time for something new. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm still kind of moving around, figuring stuff out. I think his eyelids need to be laid back a little more. His eyebrows higher. I got a lot of stuff to go. A lot of ways to go. And his nose shorter and higher. Snootier. For sure. But thank you for the feedback. Be pointier. Need to work on this. Hey from Brazil, how are you? Thanks for joining me today. And let's get this forehead back. Felix Stone, hey man. Yeah, I think his eyes are might be a little bulgy. I think I'm gonna make them a little smaller. Well, thanks, Patrick. Appreciate it. Okay. Yep, time for an eye adjustment. Stone look is in there. If you're in California or Colorado, maybe. Hey, Kagri, I don't know how to say your name, but hey, how's it going? You have like all the symbols on your name. I love it. You're Stone, Shawn? I know, you're saying you're in LA right now. Okay, I'm gonna pop this open right here. I bet. Pause. And we got one. Okay. It's been an hour so far. Where we're at in an hour. Saving. Let's see. Oh, 3 Turkish special letters. You should see my full name. Too long for you. I wouldn't know how to pronounce it though. To me, it looks like Kagri. But I'm sure that's not right. Thanks for joining me though. How are you? How have you been? Yeah, I'm gonna be putting that mustache on pretty soon. Okay, I'm turning Sculptress Pro mode on because I need some more geometry down here. But what does that mean? This is the resolution I'm working in right now. And it's a little too low, and dynamic subdivisions do not work very well with Sculptress Pro mode. So I'm just going to subdivide once. Then I'm going to save this first. Save it. I'll call this Matthew Davies. This is his sculpt or his concept, Matthew Davies. Okay, so now this isn't anyone in particular. Get rid of the lower subdivision level and turn on Sculptris Pro. I just kind of start smoothing this out, maybe smaller. Ah, okay. Chagri, like that? Interesting. Thank you for letting me know. Makes me feel a little better. When there's hard edge details, you need to take your smooth brush smaller. Yeah, and it still kind of triangulates it poorly. Be careful. I kind of like to, when I'm switching over to Sculptris Pro mode, I just kind of like to smooth it out by hand. Thanks, Wesley, very much. Vicky, what is the use of Sculptris Pro? So it allows me to grow geometry. It's less limiting. So you can see what I'm doing right here if I turn on the poly groups, the wireframes. You can kind of see what's going on. And I'm adding dense triangles along the edges where I want to keep the edges. But, so for example, down in this area, down here with the chin, I can add more detail. See, I want to add this next kind of row of wrinkles. I can cut stuff in, smooth it out, and then just kind of grow. Let's see, I'm going to use fill and just kind of grow it. So it just allows me to put in detail where I couldn't before, sticking at that low of resolution. That makes sense. Turn my intensity down on this. Hey, Clovis. Thanks. So Marion, this is just the fill brush. So see this fill brush right here? All that does is it's kind of like clay buildup without the mess. So for example, see that right there? That's what it does. It does kind of this buildup. Now that I have Sculptris Pro on, the surface isn't as smooth and it's not as pretty, unless I go really dense, but now I can get in here and just go a little more higher level on the detail stuff, so I can cut in. You can see that I can work with the surface a lot easier. I'm still trying to keep things smooth. I'm not trying to break stuff, just enough to let me get to the next level, as it were. Okay, we put his little mustache on him, and we need to add this. Hey, what's up, Dave? How are you, man? Need to put his like sweater neck on him, of course, and his hair and his mustache. So let's get his mustache on there. And we'll just use a sphere. There we go, done. Ship it. Yep. That's the thing with Sculptris Pro mode, is it's very, very, very easy to introduce lumps and bumps and warbles. Alex, yes. These are all, a lot of these icons right here, these are brushes that I made, and I give them away for free over on my website, and Moonmix has been posting links, but if you go to the 3dcharacterworkshop.com, Vinnet just posted it too. If you go over there and you sign up for my newsletter, I give you my brushes, my user interface, and it comes with this pop-up menu, and it comes with my ruler file. So you can grab, you can just use all those things. If you go, yep, go grab them. Corinne, am I planning on remeshing again? I might. I typically do. But I'll Z-remesh at a higher density later on. Well, wrong thing. I need to be on that. It's 4 in the morning there? Oh man. See, I'm streaming at this time, hoping to get more people watching me, and it's worked so far. It's looks like there's 211 people watching right now, which is crazy. Thanks everybody for spending your Monday with me. I appreciate it. But there's still some people watching at 4 in the morning. Oh, Shawn, thanks. For once, huh? You usually have to bail. Do laundry or something. Yep, 12 p.m. in LA. See, I kind of figured, I'm turning Sculptors Pro mode off. I kind of figured that the least of my followers are in China, and it's kind of midnight in China right now. So that's kind of why I chose this time. Then people over in the UK, you know, European countries could watch. It's like 7 p.m. over there. It's 1:12 p.m. here where I am at. I'm in Utah. Okay. I'm losing too much volume on this mustache. From Brazil. What time is it in Brazil? Get that swoop. $3 a.m. in China. Oh, so I do have somebody in China watching. Wow. Well, you changed my mind. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry I'm streaming so late in China. There's no perfect time, I've decided. But thanks for proving me wrong, and now I feel bad. What can you do? When's the best time to sculpt? When everybody can watch. Okay, let's see. Okay, I need to adjust the back of his head. Just stream 3 times a day. That's the answer. I don't have anything better to do. Oh, cool. Well, thanks, Alex. Alex and Alexander. That's a great name. In Switzerland, 9 o'clock. Wow. Anytime is sculpting time. That's right. Oh, Alex over there watching from Germany on Facebook. I always love to see where people are from and watching from. Okay, let's turn Sculptors Pro back on. A lot of times I like to build that cup up underneath the back of the ear, and it's just because I find it funny. So I'm gonna do that right now. Just kind of that weird, that connection. Something like that. Makes me laugh. Funny is money. Hey Yao, how are you, man? Now we got the whole crew here today. I need to get some hair on him first. All right, I'm gonna get the neck in there because I think the neck will make it look a lot of funny. Make it look funny. Kevin, that's not the first time I've heard somebody call me the Bob Ross of 3D sculpting. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you something. That's why I have my camera set up from the side, is because it's kind of Bob Ross-ish, you know, to kind of turn to the side and talk to you guys. So honestly, that is why I set it up that way. So I appreciate the comment. It's flattering. Okay, here we go. Save this again. Pretty little arcs, happy little accidents. All right. Okay, Chagri has a question. Let's see. After getting a good edge flow with ZRemesher and detailing, if I want to make a dramatic change, is there a way to get away with it without losing detail in all the detail I already worked on? Honestly, Chagri, the best way is using Sculptris Pro mode. I hate to say it, but you know, it's like if I were to ZRemesh this head again, I would lose a lot of the detail and the pinching and all that stuff that I've been putting in. So it's best to just keep moving forward and turning Sculptris Pro mode on and using that. So you'll want to do just what I did and divide it maybe once or twice, depending on how dense your mesh was in the first place. I think adding apply on the dynamic subdivisions, that will give you 3 levels of subdivision, and most of the time that's too many to start using Sculptris Pro with. So, and overambitious, why does ZBrush get slow when I have multiple objects in the same scene? It depends on what the objects, how they're built and how dense they are. The biggest thing that I've found that slows down ZBrush is when you're using dynamic with Sculptris Pro mode, so you can't have both of those on at the same time, or if you're using dynamic subdivisions with real subdivisions at the same time. Both of those things will just slow ZBrush down hardcore. So make sure you're not mixing those things together, okay? So try that first. Otherwise, it will just be most likely from really dense meshes. So you can hover over your tool right here. See these little images? And you can see where it says total polys and total points. So right now, I'm only sitting at 151,000. And that's why this is so reactive right now. But if you're up in the millions, like 12 million, 13 or higher, then it's going to slow ZBrush down for sure. Patrick, I used Sculptris Pro and ended up with huge files. Yes. So that is kind of one thing you have to look out for. Hey from Colombia, how's it going? One thing you can do is decimate. So as soon as you start using Sculptris Pro mode, you'll notice that it starts to add triangles like this, right? Triangles. And so those triangles are adding density. And it's going to, you know, crank up that file size because of how dense they are. What you can do is just run the Decimation Master right here. You can run that on your mesh. In fact, I can do it right now on this piece right here. If I run, say, like 20K, this preset right here, it's gonna try and attempt to rebuild it with Dynamesh. And it did, you didn't really see a difference, but that will allow you to take a very dense mesh and remove most of those triangles without actually removing the details that you have. So try that out. Try some of these presets right here. That's what they're for. And Shawn, that's what I was telling you. That's what the presets are made for. So does it matter if you're going to retopologize anyway? Not really. Not really. Looks like Beaker. me. Yeah. Okay. Let's get that neck here. I'm going to mirror this though, and then mirror and weld it so it's at least it's symmetrical. Smooth this stuff out. Okay. Oh, what's up, Scott? How are you, man? If I miss your question, feel free to post it again because the chat's kind of going by pretty fast. Kevin, when posing, what's the best way to pose and get all your cloth and everything? I would recommend you watch last week's Sculpt session. It is on Pixologic/ZBrushLIVE, and then go to panelists and click on my name, and then you'll see all the past streams. Because last stream I posed my cowboy and my dinosaur, and you'll get the information you're looking for from there, I hope. Okay. So let's add this in. Sorry, Scott, 1 second. Just gonna try and get this in place here. No. What did you ask me? After working in Sculptris Pro, you'll then use subdivisions to get back to a smoother mesh surface rather than Z-remeshing. No, I will actually... So subdivisions do not work very well with Sculptris Pro, since Sculptris Pro is made of triangles. Subdivisions like to work best with quads. Okay, so the best thing you can do is actually Z-remesh your mesh, but then you will reproject your Sculptris Pro model back onto your subdivided Z-remeshed mesh, if that's not a mouthful. Okay, so I will eventually Z-remesh this, but at the very end. So this is just kind of, I'm just trying to work through it right now, and then we'll get it to where it has subdivision levels again later on, and that will get things smoothed out. Okay. Thanks, Ramazan. Appreciate it. Whoops. All right. Thanks, Neil. Moonmix. Same. You're using your pseudonym to post over on Facebook. Appreciate it, man. Where do I send the check? You're following along with me in Sculptris Pro? Awesome. From Belgium. How are you, Arnold? Thanks for watching me. Okay, here we go. Let's get this. I kind of want to make a pocket where his neck is sitting so it makes more sense. I can turn dynamic on this. Somebody asked, Peter Gomez, do I use personal shortcuts? The only shortcut I use is for my menu, and that I set my menu, my custom menu. My custom menu is right here. It's this 3D CW that just stands for 3D Character Workshop. It's a custom menu that I made. I typically don't like to have my hands down on my keyboard hitting a bunch of shortcuts because I'm on a Cintiq. I'd rather have all of my shortcuts within reach. So I put them in a custom menu right here. And I assign that custom menu to hotkey 2, like the number 2 up here on my keyboard. Then I assign that to my back pen button. So that will just pop up anywhere on my screen by hitting the back pen button. And then I'm not running around searching everywhere and hitting hotkeys. Then the only hotkeys I use down on my keyboard, I just kind of keep my left hand on the left side of my keyboard and hit Shift, Control, and Alt all the time. So not really. I don't set up a whole bunch of hotkeys. I know people that do. My friend Steve James, he is a hotkey lover. So, and I'm sure you've seen some of Steve's work. He swears by hotkeys. But his interface is very, very minimalist. So it just depends on how you like to work. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of hotkeys, so that's how I like to work. I'm going to split this off. And neither way is right. It's just how you want to, you know, however you want to work. Work it. Yeah, thanks for, I'm glad you could catch me live. That's great. That's why I switch my times to Mondays, because it seems like a lot more people can catch me live rather than Sunday nights. Everyone's sleeping, catching the Z's. Let's see. Okay. Kind of watching my time here because I want to get this done. I love the challenge of trying to get a character done, at least a bust, during a stream. It's really fun to try and do that. Now with Sculptress Pro, the larger your brush, the larger the triangles it's going to make when you smooth it. And that's a default setting. You can change that setting in the Sculptress Pro settings. You can make it not do that. But I like to keep things smooth, so I just make a big brush and just kind of do that. And I can ZRemesh it at any time. Like right now, see how this is chunky right now? And there's not really much detail that I'm going to lose. So I can go ahead and ZRemesh this without any issues. So here we go. I'm going to show you what it's going to do. I'm going to clip the bottom off though with a clip curve brush like that. Maybe a little higher and at an angle from the side. It looks more like a bust, you know? So now that I have this shape, I can just go down to Geometry, ZRemesher, and set this to maybe 1 probably. Try it. There we go. Back to quads. Oh, and then I immediately paint triangles on there. Got to turn Sculptress Pro mode off. Okay. There we go. Okay, I want his eyes to be smaller and beadier. They seem too big to me. Now that I'm focusing back up on the head, it's kind of like giving yourself a fresh look at the thing. And I want those eyes to be much smaller in his head. And at this point, a lot of students of mine, they just freeze up and they go, how do I change the eye shape? It's already that size and it's gonna, you know, make me cringe and not be able to do it. So no, Moonmix, that's totally fine. I just appreciate I appreciate it when you pop over there and just throw something there. I can also do it as well. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the eye size, and I'm going to try something that might be crazy using the new gizmo. This right here, transpose all selected subtools. I only want to transpose the eye and what's around it without losing too much of my work. So I'm going to try something. Let's see if this works. Fingers crossed. Okay, I'm going to hide everything I don't want to adjust. So I'm going to hide the turtleneck and the shirt and the mustache. So we just have the eye and the face. Now, what's cool about this transpose all selected subtools is it will respect masking, which is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this mask pen and make my brush bigger. Okay, why isn't it working? Oh, because I have Gizmo turned on. Let's shrink this down. And then if I mask this eye area, because this is what I want to shrink, okay? It's going to look like a bandit for a minute. And I'm going to invert this and just kind of blend it out. Invert it, blend it in. So I have a nice blended mask. Okay, and now I have this eye area unmasked and the eyeball unmasked, okay? So let me unhide that. And then we want to center the gizmo inside the eye. So I'm gonna hold down Alt and tap on this, go to Unmask Mesh Center. And I'm gonna turn on Transpose All Selected Subtools. and just shrink this eye and see what happens. Okay, I'll make sure local symmetry is turned on. There we go. Looks like it's working, but it's kind of crumpling the geometry. Yeah, right, Moon Mix. Okay, so when I do that though, I need to scooch them closer together. His mesh is getting horrible, but that's okay. That's okay. Trying to decide if that's how I want him to look. I can even like turn his eyes up like this even more. That's better. I don't have Sculptress Pro on. I don't think it will, the gizmo doesn't work with Sculptress Pro mode. It doesn't add any more faces as you adjust this. So it's essentially just kind of stretching the triangles around it, and then I'll go back and fix it. In fact, I'll do that right now. I'm pretty happy with where this is at. No, it doesn't. See, it doesn't add the geometry. It's just fine. So then we can clear this mask, and we'll just come in here and just polish it back out with smooth. Not a big deal. Now I can turn Sculptress Pro mode back on and really get rid of these issues. Okay. Gotta be kind of careful, and then I can come back in here and pinch this brow. I can turn up the intensity a bit more. Yeah, you just got to be careful. But see, now I don't have to rebuild those eyelids. I could resize the eye with the eyelids, and yep, killer clowns from outer space. For sure. All right, let's turn this stuff back on. His mustache back on. And I'm going to build his eyebrow now. Let's see. How do you blend two different subtools? I guess I don't understand. Like, what do you mean by blend? Like, do you want to weld them together? Or just merge them together? Okay. No, you don't merge them with live Boolean. You merge them with Remesh by union. Remesh by union. That's what you do. It will sew them all together. But they all have to be in the same subtool for you to do that. They can't be in separate subtools. So you have to merge them down first and then remesh by... Well, you know, the live Boolean was in ZBrush before remesh by union. Remesh by union is new. Yeah, his channel. I'll be editing that when I pose him, because I'm going to be using asymmetry when I pose him. So it'll be. I'll fix that. Don't worry about it. Hey, Brennan, how are you, man? I'm just trying to sculpt this goofy guy. Okay, I really need to focus for a second. Hey, you guys, Brennan is another sculptor with Pixelogic. Another ZBrush Live sculptor. You guys should check him out. When do you stream, Brendan? Eraserhead man guy. No kidding, right? Eraserhead. Trying to get that slope to his forehead. Oh, keeping the subtools but making them look like they're one single part. You can do that if you still merge the subtools together, but then you use polish or trim dynamic, and you can kind of polish them together and they'll still look like they're merged, but they're not. I use that for like hair and stuff like that. It's kind of a trick I do. Brendan. 6 a.m. on Saturday. You guys should catch Brendan. Especially if you're into realistic stuff. Are you still working on that Horizons guy? He's so cool. Horizon Zero Dawn. Right? Isn't that the guy you were working on for the longest time? About as long as I was working on my cowboy. It's like a forever sculpt. Okay. I'm gonna put some I'm gonna give him some eyebrows. I'm just using the topology brush. Oh, he's in Game Red stage. Oh, okay. Are you working on a God of War troll statue? That sounds awesome. Are you going to be at the summit this year? Say yes. Okay. Hey Arnold, when do you plan to make a workshop? I would like to try and follow it because I need feedback. For the moment, making minis for a board game and self-taught. It could be good to receive feedback from a pro. I have one. I have a workshop. So I think maybe you're asking when I'm going to open it up for enrollment again. I wanted to open it tomorrow for summer enrollment. If you're on my newsletter, you will be notified as soon as I open it up. I might have to push it out a couple days, but as long as you're on my newsletter, you'll be notified. So get on my newsletter. It's over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com and just say, sign up now. And I'll be opening it soon. So this is my webpage here. And this is all student work right here. And if you just say sign up to be notified, and then just fill this out, you'll get my brushes and interface and stuff like that for signing up. So, yay, Brandon! Brendan! So you're going? Yeah, we're gonna have to hit that scum and villainy, man. You know what I'm talking about? Cool to see you there. Just editing these eyebrows. Oh, thanks. Yes, they are. I don't know. They're doing fantastic. And I need to update it with the latest stuff because the latest stuff is just, they're getting better and better and better. Okay, let's work these creases a little bit. Crease, edge loop, complete. Did that do it? I did it. Okay, that's what I wanted. Let's see. Yeah, I had that blue milk thing. It wasn't the best. It was okay. It's fun to have it once. Schmove it. Do you think the stylized art community will be more resistant to the automation machine learning as opposed to the realistic? What do you mean automation machine learning? I guess I don't understand the question. Hey Dave, I'm coming out for the summit and then CTN. So those two. Just like last year, pretty much. 3-character workshop if for a movie character? No, so my workshop is for game characters. So I've worked in the game industry for 18 years, and I teach how to make characters for games. Now, the characters for film, they're not that far off of what I teach, but they are different. So you'll learn the same appeal stuff and how to make appealing characters, but I teach you how to get the characters game ready. Like a plug-and-play program for realistic assets, characters that a computer will generate instead of paying an artist to do them? Yee. I'm not going to comment on that, Smooth It. Yeah, I have yet to see an automation that does a better job than an artist. Even an artist has to create the base assets. Hey Z Wipeout, why not? What's going on, man? Where are you stuck? Send me an email, let me know. Let me know where you're stuck and I'll help you. Or is it just a matter of time? Or you just haven't had the time, or are you actually stuck? So what would the main difference between a game-ready character and film-ready character? The main difference is resolution. Typically, films use subdivision surfaces where games don't use that. Games will use UDIMs, which is UV maps on giant quads. Several quads of UVs will make up one character, whereas a game character will typically, all their UVs, most of their UVs will be on one quad. And film characters use, game characters use normal maps, where film characters use displacement maps. That's another difference. So there are lots of differences, but as far as the initial character design and making the high poly model, they're about the same. Okay, you work in so that's similar to like television, VFX style commercials. Yeah, UDIM tiles. Just become extinct. Yeah, did he? Not really. Okay. Gallus, slightly, yes. They can. It depends on the film. So Arnold, I do cover that in my workshop. I just tell you how to prep for 3D printing. I don't go through I don't go over the manufacturing process. I might add that later, but I don't know enough about the actual toy manufacturing process, even though I was involved in it. I don't know enough about it to actually have a bunch of lessons on it, and I probably won't do a specific workshop for it. But I do talk about how to prep your models for 3D printing. And that's just a bonus lesson that I have in there. So Z Wipeout, did you do the head bust? You should start with that one first. In my course, I just have just a head. Like, just start with a head first before you take on a full character, so you kind of can have the confidence of making a full character. Well, Lucky, I'm going to be releasing summer enrollment very soon, probably within the next couple weeks, if not this week, later this week. So if you want to do it, it should be soon. Yeah, 3D scanning, I can see 3D scanning being, it's already a big part of realistic game workflows, or it can be. They use 3D scan data, but they don't generate characters just based off that data. There's always cleanup. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Joner. Thank you very much. So Eamon, he streamed right before me a couple hours ago. And he is right in the middle of doing 3D printing and the toy printing manufacturing process. He actually just got back from China, and he's talking about all that process. So if you want to learn more about that, I suggest you watch Eamon's streams. He's another streamer here on Pixelogic. And if you go to, again, Pixelogic/ZBrushLIVE, or it's pixelogic.com/ZBrushLIVE, you can go to presenters and find Eamon and click on his, and you can see his past streams, and he's talking about his little fungusaurs. They're super cool, and he did a Kickstarter for them, and he talks all about the production process. So that would be a very good resource. So let's see, question then, what's the average recommended work hours you'd recommend investing a week in order to get the max out of this course? So you can take some hours off work. So that's kind of, I did my course differently. I don't do it, I don't open it up for 8 weeks and then close it down. Once you sign up, you have lifetime access. So you can go at your own pace. You can spend as much or as little time as you want. And I do student challenges, which will kind of get you excited about getting a character done. And I'm doing a challenge right now where you sculpt a Randy Bishop concept. And it finishes up this month. And there are already some really cool designs happening right now. Super nice. But it's lifetime access, so once you're in, and you don't have to hurry up and get something done. There are a lot of busy people that hop in my course for that reason. No links for YouTubers. Yeah, sorry guys. You can look at them on my chat over here. I think they're showing up on chat. So if you're a fast typer, you can already type them in. Or you can come over onto Twitch. Just search for Pixelogic and come watch me over there, and you can click on the stuff. Yeah, Raphael Grizzetti? Yeah, of course. I think he comes to the summit occasionally. Okay, we have... Dude from the nursing home. You'll be back, man. Come back. Okay, let's get some hair. Hair. We're getting to the end, and then I'll color them up. Okay, let's see. Whoop. Yes, it's Eamon. So A-I-M-A-N. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. but I'm pretty sure it's Eamon. Let's see. I'll show you guys. Not .com. There we go. So if you click on presenters, so pixelogic.com, ZBrushLIVE presenters, this is me up here. If you scroll down, there's Brendan right there. You want to watch his past broadcasts and schedules. And if you scroll down, you can find Eamon right here in his past broadcasts and schedules. So this is what he looks like. Okay, so just go find him, check him out. He does awesome stuff. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, we do. Well, some of them aren't streaming very often either. Like, I don't know how often Troy and Lena stream on Pixelogic's channel. I know Matt Thorpe's doing more of his own personal streams, stuff like that. So, yeah, there are a lot. They're adding more all the time too. They're adding some in different languages too. There's a lot of streamers that stream in different languages. Okay, let's do split to unmask points. And I just drew that hair on with the topology brush and then just adjusted my thickness with the brush size and then tapped on the surface and it gave me the thickness. And now I can go in there and tweak it. And I don't want the creases on the outside, but I want them on the inside. Let's see, I only want to crease edge loop partial. Yeah, the little tuft. I'll be making those little hairs. It'll be funny. Okay, now I'm gonna adjust the edge. Well, hair like this is really easy to do. It's just kind of a quick little bit, right? All right. I'm running out of time though. Just trying to change this edge. I guess I can smooth it. Whoa, Sculptress Pro mode still on. You have to turn smoothing way down. Hey Peter, welcome to the stream. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by and hanging out with me today. This is crazy. I got 220 people watching me live right now. I think that's a record. That's crazy. So I appreciate you guys spending your Monday afternoon with me, or night, or Tuesday morning, or whatever it happens to be for you. I appreciate it. Oh, thanks, Peter. Okay. Smooth this down. I don't have a protection sheet. This is just raw. This is naked. It's not a touch either. I don't like the touch. You've been using some of those hair tools, the XMD toolbox? Nice. Yeah, thanks guys, no worries. Okay, I'm gonna turn off dynamic because I'm gonna subdivide this once so it looks like this. Maybe twice. Isn't that a song? Once. Twice. Okay. Brandon, I'm getting to be like you and singing and making funny noises while I stream. Keeps it interesting, right? I want to make this kind of poofy back here. But I don't want to break that. I want to break that line. I changed my mind. Okay. Pull this down. Yeah, Brendan, I wish you lived closer. We could hang out more. We get to hang out like once a year. All right. Okay, now I'm going to do some Sculptress Pro action with my detail brush. I just kind of get some of these. Whoa. Is that, oh, that's why, because I turned on dynamic. Let's turn that off. Subdivide this one more time. Delete lower. Okay, let's start that. Here we go. When do I ever save a new subtool file? I just kind of save it here and there as I go. And I have quick save turned on. So hopefully that is enough, but mainly when I'm doing big changes, when I save. As often as I can. How's that? Okay, and when I remember. I'm gonna smooth this down a little bit. And I also like to kind of make where it contacts the head, kind of get cut in a little bit so it looks like it's actually growing out of his head. Something like that. Can you hear my fans? I have a fan in here because there's no windows and it's super hot. So I apologize if you can hear the fan noise. Shouldn't be able to. Oh, Anthony, no problem. Thank you very much for the kind words. Jolly good chum, I'd say. Okay, let's get the. I'm gonna use the Brendan, not Brendan. The Funky Bunnies brush on this head for the little tuft on top. Have you used those yet, Brendan? They're so cool. Oh, thanks, Matt. I'm trying to get there. Oh, I want to get him colored up, and I think he'll really come alive when I get his eyes in there and his eyelashes in there, and then color him up. Elementalist, yeah. Everybody needs a fan. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, this Macon hairbrush. How do I create stylized fluffy hair? It just depends on what, I guess, what I'm going for. Hold on. I don't know that I've had to do that. Okay. I'm just going to commit that and just have to work with it. Let's see. Let's separate. Oh, that's weird. Okay, that's not what I want, actually. Curve modifiers. I need to change this fall off to be something more like this. Oh, come on. Saving. Okay. There we go. That should work better now. Yeah, flipped. Okay, and then I want it bigger. Something like that. We're just gonna have to work with that. Let's do unmask points and adjust it. Turn my fan down. Is it hard? Can you not hear over the fan? You shouldn't be able to hear it. Can you guys hear my fan? Let me know if you can. I can't turn it down any more than it is, but I can aim it a different direction. You can't hear it at all. Okay. You guys, you're killing me. You're killing me. Oh, I have a noise gate on my microphone. So at a certain decibel level, it just kills it. I kind of want it to flick up in the back like that. It's kind of this thing laying on his head. You can't hear it on Facebook? All right. Thanks, guys. Okay. I want to try and make it kind of growing out of his head up here. Sensitive headphones. Yep. Maybe. All right. Thanks, Dave. Dave, are you going to be at those shows? The Summit and CTN? Just when I speak. Okay. Where in the world did this come from? Okay. Hidden. Okay, let's color this guy up. Okay, let's switch back over to ZBrush Paint. There he is, all light and bright. Oh, I see. Dan. Yep, my fan blew his hair. Gotcha, gotcha. I get it, I get it. If you have to explain it, it's not funny, right? Oh man, we're gonna go over time a little bit today, and that's okay. That's okay. Okay, this is where the magic happens. This is always my favorite part, and it's hard for me to not do it sooner. Is adding the color. So here we go. Oxford green sweater, yes. Okay, make them a pale white dude, of course. Not that pale. Then off Sculptris Pro, fill it, something like that. Totally fine. The Summit for sure, CTN definitely not doing. Okay. Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh, Dan enjoyed the drink a little too much. Or sorry, not Dan, Dave. Enjoyed the drink a little too much last CTN. Okay, I'm gonna make him have a kind of salt and pepper hair, I think. Go there. And his brows. It's a brush from Funky Bunnies. So it's if you look up Funky Bunnies, I believe you can find them. And it's called the Makkon, M-A-K-K-O-N, Hair Curve 03. Okay. Let's grab these eyes and we'll give them a yellowish tone. Something like that. And then you said, what's Oxford green? I don't know exactly what Oxford green is. Maybe like this. All right. Tell me if that's not Oxford green. Close. Okay, now we can start. This is fun because you kind of warm him up with some reds. Let's push this into red. Get a little more saturated. Right? Let's turn on symmetry. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to enjoy the festivities. And the cheeks. All right. I'm going to take it a little darker on the nose there. On the tip, and then a little darker out here. Okay, now down here we're going to add some blue purples. Reverend Gray. Oh yeah, from the Clue. That's awesome. So I usually take it to blue and then kick it back. If you watch Maddie do her underpainting, this is kind of a lighter version of her, the way she works. So then I just grab the skin tone and just bring it back a little bit. Yeah. He's got a cold. It's a little chilly. There you go. Okay, now let's give him some eyes. Okay, these, I'm going to subdivide them up a few, apply, and I like to take it to about 1 million. So this is 786,000, which is pretty good. Then we'll get this, let's do a brown, like this. I'm gonna adjust those eyelids here in a second. There we go. All right, take care, Brennan. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Maybe down a little bit, and then I'll adjust the eyelids to match. Yeah, it's like he's been in the pantry. Get out of the pantry. Okay, and I'm going to take, and I also like to just kick the underneath the eye, just kind of fake some ambient occlusion underneath there. Helps a little bit. Okay, now let's adjust those eyelids, and we're going to pose him a little bit better. I'm going long today because I'm having fun. I always have fun. What am I saying? What I mean is I'm really close, and I want to get him looking finished. So I'm going a little longer. Those ears in. Okay. Now what I want to do is adjust those eyelids. I'm going to save this in case I want to go back And I wanted to kind of make the eyelids kind of go in this shape. Kind of like he's like, you know. Droopy, but sweeping up. There we go, something like that. And it's crazy how much eyelids can change the attitude or expression of a person. Inflate these closed. And I want to actually build out the eyelashes, but I don't feel like I really have time. So I'm just going to use Sculptress Pro and just kind of get in here and paint them in. Let's see. Do the top first. Maybe a little closer. This is what a Cintiq is good for. This is a little more difficult when you're on a tablet. Oh, thanks, Daniel. How you doing? Looks like he's not quite symmetrical. So I'm going to mirror and weld him really quick. There we go. And smooth this out. Pretty funny. You know it's working when it cracks you up. This is too much skin happening right here. Paint that closer. I know there's typically an eyelid thickness right there, but sometimes it doesn't always work with stylized characters. Go. Then we can put a highlight on this eye by adding the material called Toy Plastic or one of the ZBrush eye materials. So let's see what Toy Plastic looks like on it first. And you just grab a hard paint, click over to material, select the Toy Plastic, and you can see how the highlights are working on those eyes. Okay, and then we're going to fill it with that and then change back to ZBrush paint. So now he has reflections on his eyes. How fun. So who made the concept? Matthew Robert Davies. He's actually here. It's if you want to find more of his art, it's Matt2D on Instagram and Twitter, I believe. Matt, he's here watching, so Matt, maybe you can post where people can find your art. Okay. I'm gonna make his mustache come out away from his face. This. A little more. There he is. Thanks for letting me do this, Matt, by the way. He's a lot of fun. Okay, let's put some ambient occlusion in that nostril, too. Just make it a little darker. Darker. Matt2D on Instagram and Twitter. Yep, you'll find him. Matt, you need to update your art station, man. It's like a tumbleweed in there. Oh, one more thing. Okay. I want to change his eyelids to be more like this. There we go. I smoothed out. I don't remember to turn your RGB off your smooth brush, or you can blend your paint together. I'd say. You think even more, Doug? I pulled them out, but I could do it even more. There you go. And I keep going back and forth on these eyelids. I want them to be happy, but like, you know, just that attitude at the same time. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off. He does seem a little more sinister, doesn't he? Maybe it's this interior right here. Yeah, it doesn't take much, does it? I'm trying to get it to kind of swoop. See how they swoop? I'm kind of liking that better. And if they were actually physically built, not painted, I would pull them out, you know, away so they'd break that silhouette a little bit more. Something like that. Okay, I'm going to turn off symmetry and just kind of raise one, lower the other one. Yeah. There we go. Thanks, Moon Mix. It kind of gives him that look, right? Okay, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Let me adjust his chin, and I want to make it off symmetry just a little bit to kind of add some more interest down there. All right, Dave. Take care, man. That chin is gross. It's like, what's going on with that chin? What is that? Saving. I think the chin is the most interesting part. That's all shoved into that turtleneck. I need to really like blow it out a little bit and see, like, add some more skin kind of hanging over the edge. Yeah, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks again, Pixelogic, for allowing me to sculpt on your Twitch stream. It's always a pleasure. And thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me on your Monday morning. Looks like he's melting. He's melting into this sweater. Too fun. And as always, if you're interested in my online course, you can go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And I'm trying to make it so it's just available to purchase anytime, not just during enrollment times. Because I'm getting to the point where it's kind of a well-oiled machine. Yep, same time next week. Mondays, every Monday. All right. That's about as good as we're going to get today, I think. I might tweak with it a little bit more. Anyway, thanks, guys. And have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Monday. If you want these brushes, you want this user interface, and you want my ruler file, go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Click on the link, sign up for my newsletter, and you'll get these all for free. So if you're interested in that, and if you're also interested in my course, I will send you some emails when it's open for enrollment. I will be opening it probably within the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye on your email. Watch out for that. Anyway, thanks, everybody. Made it for the whole thing. Yep, thanks for stopping by, Shawn. Super fun. There we go. Matt, that's probably the best I could do. No, I want to take his whole face and kind of scrunch it up. He's too tall in the face. When you're talking like this and you're in the weeds, you can't really see. You have to take a step back and look and see what's going on. But I might tweak with this a little bit more before I post it next week. Anyway, thanks, guys. Take care. We'll see you next time. Cheers.